come across this interesting find. And as with all my videos, I give credit to the original YouTube creator in the description. But yeah, this is pretty interesting. I think that both ends were pretty much in the wrong. You know, instead of being adults about it, you got one person disrespecting this person, and then this person disrespecting this person, and it goes downhill from there. But I honestly think that Riley, from the start, she, was being antagonistic. More than likely, I don't know if it was unintentional or intentional. It seemed like it might have been unintentional, but hey, let's just play the clip.
The most frustrating thing I find as well with Blossom on the debates that I have reacted to. Let's watch the next clip.
Blossom, what are your...
you not saying D-I-E? It's D-E-I.
I know, I corrected
Piers.
myself. I corrected myself. The whole thing is absurd, whichever way you want to put the letters.
I just can't get over that he said he's rooted in reality. So
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, but Blossom...
Girl, shut your butt up, Miss Tommy Lauren looking girl. Go on.
Miss Tommy Lauren looking girl. Funny enough, I'm glad to have Tommy Lauren on the show, actually.
Tommy Lauren reject. Go on over there somewhere.
Ad hominem. That's all the left has. Have violence and they have
Piers. Miss Thing, go
slanderous,
on.
petty personal
Go on
attacks.
over there and
No,
advocate.
Blossom, you realize you
go
make
on over
every
there
single
to
trans
Donald
person, every single trans activist look bad.
You do,
Every
yeah.
single one of
You
them.
know what?
You make them all
I
look
represent
terrible.
myself. I represent myself, and what I'm doing is facing off with fascists and racists on live air, and I'm okay with that.
Fascist, racist, and transphobe.
I spout on
Yeah.
Piers' show.
I said what I said. I'm
likely
sorry.
will not be
Fabulous.
invited.
I can say, Blossom,
said what I
I
said.
do want to congratulate you. Seriously, Blossom. You have been, without a shadow of a doubt, the maddest trans activist I've ever had on the show. Congratulations.
Oh!
Riley, thank you very much. Thank you,
Piers.
Blossom.
Coming from you, that's a compliment.
That's it. I'm going to go and have a
Thank
cold
you,
shower and
Piers.
calm down.
First things first, I'm not to defend Blossom, but Riley did say that Riley called Blossom a he. And again, I am on Riley's side with some of the things that she says about trans women in sports, but as soon as you go to misgendering someone, it's just like the lack of respect goes. However, I do appreciate that
It's
Blossom wasn't
understandable.
respecting Riley and Blossom was insulting Riley. So I do appreciate both sides of that. But I just wanted to point that out, that it just made me feel a bit uncomfortable. It sort of made me pull away from Riley's sort of point of view there. Do you know what I mean? Not that I'm saying Blossom was in the right, because Blossom was just clearly insulting Riley for whatever she could. She could find anything to insult her. My final point is, I think there's a way to have these conversations in a grown-up way, and that isn't the way to do it. That's not the way to get a valuable solution. I don't agree with everything that's going on in the world right now, politically speaking, and I'm not going to go into it. I think there's a lot of bad things happening. But certain elements of it, like trans women in sports, I do hold my opinion firm on that. And I think having Blossom representing trans women, when Blossom can get so fired up and heated, it's never going to be a good outcome. It's never going to look good. Even if I was agreeing with Blossom, because I've seen things where I've agreed with her points of view in the past, like some of the things that she said, but it just made me sort of standoffish with the way that it was delivered. It's then having to pull that information out and digest what she's saying rather than how she's saying it. Because a lot of the time, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I think that's a time-old phrase that really withstands within this argument. I think we need to see some, where's all these trans activists who are just regular people who don't get like that, who can just understand where people are coming from and then give their opinion, because that's how people learn, that's how we develop and grow. But Piers Morgan, the show will always be, I don't want to say problematic, but it'll always be rage baiting. I think it is, effectively, that's what it is. It's always there to get the views, the clicks, it's always there to get people angry and riled up, but Blossom fell for that, and it just didn't make us look good.
Riled
I
up
think
by
that's the
Riley.
bottom line, it makes trans women look bad. As always, I would be interested to know your thoughts and views, specifically on trans women in sports, in the comment section below. If we can keep it as nice as possible, though, please.
Well, y'all can go to the original source to make your comments. I'm just basically doing a reaction video on that particular video, but hey, to each his own on that one. But honestly, as far as that is concerned, I don't let every person represent me. That person in particular, Blossom, is more of an aggressive type person. As you can see, I'm pretty chill, complete opposites. But yeah, she pretty much everything that she's on, I've seen her on Buck Angel, I've seen her talked about with Blair White. I've seen her on this particular channel. Yeah, pretty much every instance I see her that I've seen her is she kind of comes at out in an aggressive tone. Also, she does, from what I see, she does a lot of, I would say, I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, lying, where she'll say one thing, but that was never actually said or the intention from the other party member. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. It kind of was, you kind of did wrong from both sides, basically both sides are wrong and a wrong equal a wrong. So they just, one person kind of was antagonistic towards the other, and it just went downhill from there. And you can't really, just like in a relationship, you can't have an actual mature conversation when you got one person acting like a child. Basically talk, have your opinion, shut up, let the other person talk, have their opinion, shut up, and then if you disagree, you state why you disagree, then you explain why you disagree as a mature adult without talking over someone, and the other person shouldn't talk over you. Everybody should have their turn to say something. Like I know on these platforms, I believe like Jubilee, they'll get a certain time limit to talk, and you still have people like still trying to talk over other people when they have their time limit to talk. Same with presidential debates and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, this was pretty interesting. I just thought, that's just not someone that could, I would say, represent anyone. I think everybody can represent themselves, to be honest. One person doesn't determine the outcome or, of anyone else, basically, in that case. But that would be it for this video. The source or the sauce of the YouTube channel is in the description. If you want to watch the full video, obviously click on it. Name of the YouTuber is Alexis Blake. Thank you. Have a good one. Also, I like to do my videos raw, no editing, so it is what it is. Till next time.